Okay, welcome back to the show. I don't know what episode this is anymore, but we're gonna dive right in. We're gonna do some real world stuff. I was working with somebody the other day on helping them process through part of their business and one of their customers. Their communication to me said, essentially, and I'm reading it, needs some help on the idea of how to structure their business as far as how they're selling. So this guy has a model where he's trying to offer a rental and he's trying to offer for sale and an option to a customer. And they also mentioned a customer that he has trouble with nitpicking the process that he has as far as the rental goes, of not understanding why the price wouldn't go down on the rental. I think he was charging $4 a year per foot on a rental, which the second year you got profit there if you're doing that. You guys know, if you've watched some of the podcasts in the past, last season we started out at $4 a foot in our first season back into the business just to grab some market share, to get some clients. And then this year the margins will be good, but at $4 a foot the first year the margins are not that great. So somebody had that question on YouTube, how did you make any money at $4 a foot? We didn't make much. We made more money as the season progressed and we started to raise our prices. But knowing that we were going to have those customers come back the next year and that the margin would be there. So we did it intentionally, knowing that we would have profit. So let's address the customer first. I think we've all had these customers before where they just give you a hard time. They ask a ton of questions, and it's okay to ask questions. It's definitely okay to ask questions. But what that tells you is if a customer is asking you a million questions, then we're not doing a good job explaining it. Or it could be that this may not be a customer that you want. I know we have this idea sometimes that we'll take whatever we can get, and I feel like that's a process that you're going to have in the start of your business. If you're going to take what you can get, because you're learning the business, you're learning how to communicate with customers, you're learning how to sell jobs, you're learning all these things. If your pricing's a little low, okay, great. You're paying for the training. You're paying, your boots on the ground is worth you giving up some money. I believe that. And we all have to learn that way to a certain extent. But the reason that I'm doing these things is to try to help you get to the next steps faster. So maybe you don't have to go through some of the same things that I went through in the beginning with customers and pricing and how to do jobs and everything that comes along with this business. Maybe you can progress faster than I was able to progress. That's the goal. Also, if you can buy lights from us, that would be great. Go to Lawn and Light Pro. We just got our new website up. Click register at the top, and then we'll get you set up for that wholesale pricing. That's how we can do this. Honestly, that's how we can do this, because we're not running ads on these podcasts. We're not sponsored by anything other than Lawn and Light. The new website just got up. It's still got little things that we're working on, but you can find all the products that you need on there. That's how we're able to do this. So let's talk about that customer, or that few customers, or if you have a bunch of them, you really need to think about your business model and how you're selling. The pricing of what this guy was doing is, I'm not as concerned about it. We'll get to that in a minute. Let's just talk about the customers. Stay on track, Shane. Let's go. Okay, focus. Focus. When we have customers like that, the questions going through our head should be, are we explaining the process well enough? Did they believe in us? Did they trust us? The advice that I gave this guy was, pick one method of how your business runs, whether it be selling the lights or leasing the lights, or whatever variation that you have. Understand your product. Understand how you sell that. And then do a really good job at selling it. Explain it well, walk them through the process well, overcome their objections before they have them. If you manage the expectations, the client doesn't have an opportunity to manage the expectations because you've already done it. And if they don't trust you at that point, you put your best foot forward. Maybe you even got the job and you're dealing with a customer for 3 or 4 years that is just driving you crazy. And by the way, these customers are typically the lowest paying customers. That's just how life goes. I've been in the service industry for over 20 years. The lowest, the most negative and hard customers to deal with, nitpicky, well, I call them bird doggers. We'd be mowing somebody's yard and they'd come out and stand on their porch and just watch you make lines back and forth. When we were in the industry, we call them bird doggers, because bird dogs will come out and they'll point at a bird, right? Those are typically customers that as you grow, you don't want. In the beginning, you may have some. And then as you start to go on bids, as you're in year 3, 4, 5, and you're on bids, you're going to start creating like a psychological profile in your head of customers, people that you meet with that you may not want to deal with. And so you have to, if you want to deal with them, if you want to take their money and do their job, and that's worth it for you, then you can. I always think about that when I'm giving a bid. Is this a person that's going to make my life harder than it really needs to be? If you believe enough in your service and what you're offering somebody, you're offering them the highest level of what you can offer them. So if they tear it apart, is that a customer that you want? Do you have a number on that? I'm asking you these questions because this are the same things that I go through. If I know this customer is going to be like that, and their job is $600, I'm not going to take it. And the way that I don't take it is that I just mark the estimate up to something that, a number that I would think would be, for me, willing to deal with the problem. You can think about that however you want to. You can call it a Karen tax. It is what it is. This is life. Or you could just say, you know, this is not really a job for us, and refer it to somebody else if you have somebody to refer it to. If it's a job that's $5,000 and I know that there's good margin there, then I'm probably going to take it. I'm probably just going to deal with it because you're being paid to deal with it, right? What do you guys do? Put it in the comments. Do you ever modify your pricing if it's a customer that you don't want, or do you just say that you don't want them? Or it's a real fine balance there, right? Like we all walk through that of, I don't really want to work for this person. I think they're going to make my life crazy, or they are making my life crazy, and it's not worth it. So tell me in the comments what you guys do. I'm super interested to find that out. We're going to save the double model of sell and lease and offering both for the next episode. Hey, remember, love God, love others, and let your work reflect that. I appreciate you being here. We'll catch you on the next one.